Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Songs of Healing podcast with Ian Taylor, a podcast where we explore the healing elements of song and songwriting and how they are used to heal and process life experiences. I am your host, Ian Taylor, singer-songwriter, coach, and humble student of life, offering my perspectives, wisdom, and heartfelt honesty. Now, because this is a new podcast, I'm going to be focusing on my songs and the songs that I've written and how they apply to my own healing process and my own life story. Eventually, I will be incorporating in other artists' songs and possibly even interviewing other artists. But for now, just sit back, get comfortable, grab a cup of tea, and listen to some of my story. So I'm a singer-songwriter living in LA. I moved here in 2019, and quite honestly, I was scared to move to LA. I lived up in Northern California pretty comfortably and also with a lot of discontent. I was ready for something new, and I was scared to commit to this dream of music, and also was scared to move to LA because LA was just such a beast compared to where I had been living. And just in my mind, LA always seemed like the heart of the beast, and which it is to some extent. Being here, it is a grind to be here. You know, it's a constant life lesson in learning how to be an artist here, learning how to follow my own path, learning how to come into the life that I want to be living here, because it is a grind. It's a grind to afford to live to LA. So I picked myself up when I was living up there in Northern California. I chose to move here with all of my anxiety and chose to walk in that direction anyways. I'm the type of person that has always looked at life from a healing perspective, from an evolutionary perspective, I guess you could say. Meaning that I really believe that I've had this vision of my life, whether it be my music, my family, my friendships, a vision of, I guess, a more connected experience for myself to those things. And honestly, I'm coming from a past of trauma, alcoholic family, and also a very spiritually based mother who really instilled a lot of beautiful ideals inside of me. And also, I've always felt connected to an innate spiritual experience and perspective and connection to life in general. And so I really view life as a healing process. And as a musician, as an artist, that's how I've always perceived my life, as using music to heal, using songwriting to share my perspectives of healing, and to share my experiences of healing too. and really just claiming who I am through my music and through my expression. I've also studied in coaching, in life coaching, and I've always been very therapeutically minded. Of course, if you haven't noticed by now, but I've never felt called to take the scholastic path, the path of studying to be a therapist. I've more been I more enjoy life on the fringes, I guess you could say. Michael Meade, who is a mentor of mine, of someone I really appreciate, talks about living on the margins of life, and I identify with that as someone who has not really walked the path of the status quo and has chosen to pay more attention to a spiritual experience of life, and also holding on to a beautiful vision of life and learning that I have the capacity and ability to create that vision. So anyways, I spoke about walking a path, walking my own path in life, which is a beautiful segue into the song that I will be focusing on in this episode, in this podcast, which is a song I wrote a couple months ago, called Walking My Own Path. And I'm going to break down the song a little bit and how it applies to healing. So we're going to listen through the song now. I hope you enjoy it. Don't care what she says. Straighten up and walk this way. I care about this dream of mine. I don't care what they say. All dreams die with age. I just cannot abide. And I don't care that you've given up. You got scared when your dreams got tough. But don't compare my life to that. I'm walking my own path. Don't care about your degrees. None of that impresses me. I care what's in your untouched mind. I don't care how to find success. I wanna know what you'd confess if you knew God was on your side. And I don't care that you're all caught up on surface prayers to the God of stuff. But don't compare my worth to that. I'm walking my own path. I am walking down hidden roads no one else has known, and I am talking in undertones, ringing out Yes, I'm walking my own path. I don't care about prudence. I wanna live in the movement of now, in the pulse of life. I don't care for reluctance. Will you meet me in this dance and let something mysterious guide? And I don't care that you're shaken up by his soft stare in unbridled love, but do you dare to step towards trust and walk your own path? So this song has a lot of messages that is, vulnerably I admit, about me overcoming maybe the thought forms in this society around being practical and following the well-paved path, and how it's just been a part of my natural life expression to go against that, or just not to listen to it. And quite honestly, I've struggled with that my whole life. Actually, I've carried a lot of shame around this, a lot of I guess you could say regret around not coming into life circumstance where I am making choices to walking a stable path of going to school, a stable path of career as an artist, a musician, and with leanings into coaching and therapy and healing, the field of healing. It's a path that is not, it's not a sure bet sometimes, and it takes a lot of guts to go through with it. And I can only say that now because of the healing I've done on myself, on the perspective of me feeling doomed in some way for the path that I've taken, that I've chosen. But more, this song was a direct claiming of I am walking my own path, and how that's actually a beautiful thing and a very courageous thing. I don't care what she says. Now the first verse of this song, I don't care what she says, straighten up and walk this way. I care about this dream of mine. When I wrote this song, or when it was kind of came into me, and that first verse really reflected this experience I was going through with this woman at work, and there was energy and attraction between us, and we were like getting to know each other, and I'm always very honest. I'm just an honest person in general, always very honest with people I'm getting to know, women I'm getting to know, and there was just an energy in our interactions that later I was feeling. She was from a different class than I was. Grew up working class, still am very much working class. She was more in a higher class, or not higher class, but she was more well off. Came from a well off family, and it reminded me of a relationship I was in for 8 years with a pretty significant relationship partner woman in my life throughout my 20s, and she was also from a more wealthy family, and there was kind of, I guess, there was a energy in that relationship. It was reminding me of this girl I was talking to as well. That was like, straighten up, come on, get on the same path. Let's like be grounded for me. Be that stability that I want in my life. Be like my family or something. And I guess this verse is kind of me being a little bit rebellious against that. And then the second part of the verse is, I don't care what they say, all dreams die with age. I just cannot abide. I just can't abide the over practicality of life to the extent of giving up on a dream. And I don't care that you've given up. You got scared when your dreams got tough, but don't compare my life to theirs. I'm walking my own path. I really believe that if you commit to a dream, that it's going to take you to places inside that are scary. It's going to challenge your survival. It's going to challenge your fear. It's going to challenge, basically, I think, all the ways that one needs to be healed. And I do think that some people just aren't up for the challenge, up for that kind of challenge. Some people just want to live a comfortable life, and walking your own path against the status quo, against the well-paved, well-beaten path. It's a very courageous thing. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad or wrong about choosing to live more comfortably. I also think that sometimes we need to live more comfortably. Sometimes we just need comfort. But when the comfort gets excessive and starts to inhibit our own growth, I think, or our own purpose in life, I think that that's where it becomes dangerous, and it turns into us wilting away our time. And I also think that you can commit to a dream in 1 minute, and you might need to take some space from that dream too. But if it's a dream that's really deep in our beings, in our souls, like it feels like it's a deep soul purpose, I think it takes recommitting over and over and over again to the dream, facing our fear, going through that fear, and then recommitting to walking through that fear. I honestly think that happens probably thousands of times in choosing to commit to a dream. I don't care about your degrees. None of that impresses me. I care what's in your untouched mind. I don't care how to find success. I wanna know what you'd confess if you knew God was on your side. And I don't care that you're all caught up on surface prayers to the God of stuff, but don't compare my worth to that. I'm walking my own path. I think throughout my life, I've noticed that people just generally hang out in surface conversations, especially when you're getting to know each other, or even if you're in friendships for years where It's like talk about successes, talk about your degrees, talk about just the more surfacey aspects of life. I'm a much more introverted person, and I think deeply on spiritual notions and spiritual realities and laws, and in this first verse, I don't care about your degrees, none of that impresses me. It's really saying, like, it's actually an invitation to connect deeper, on a deeper level. I don't care how to find success. I want to know what you'd confess if you knew God was on your side. I mean, that's kind of talking about the self-help industry, and just, it seems like a very valuable currency nowadays is knowledge on how to find success, and people will pay a pretty penny for that, which is fine if it works. And I also think, God, there's just so many of them. There's just so many people, claiming they have the answers. So anyways, just beyond that kind of like, hey, I can find you success, or even one, a person, me, myself, or another person can obsess about, how do I find success? I need my life to look successful. But this is more speaking to, like, let's talk about the real things, I don't care about how to find success. I want to know what's really deeply going on inside of you. And I know that if we had a knowledge, if everybody really trusted and have faith that God was on our side, I think we would more willingly speak honestly about our feelings, about our fears, about the things that we want, but we're scared we can't have. I think that that's more important than the formula to finding success. I am walking down hidden roads no one else has known, and I am talking in undertones, ringing out the notes of the soul. And the bridge to this song is really, I'm walking down hidden roads no one else has known. I am talking in undertones, ringing out the notes of the soul. It's really just saying everything that I've been talking about in this song. It's just like, I'm the character in the song, which is vulnerably, humbly, it is me, is claiming, is making a declaration of, I am walking down hidden roads no one else has known, and how that's a scary thing. There's a lot of, I can experience a lot of confusion in my life, and I'm thinking of a Carl Jung quote that is, I think it's Carl Jung anyways, that is, if you can see the path ahead of you, it probably means you're on someone else's path, which I always really loved that. So, let's it's taken me a lot, and it still takes a lot to have confidence in my confusion, that it means I'm getting somewhere. And yeah, ringing out the notes of my soul, talking in undertones. It's really just talking the language of the soul, talking the language of emotions, talking the language of honesty, and paying attention to the spiritual undertones in life. And I don't care that you're all mixed up, don't know where I'm coming from. I don't compare to what you've known in the past. Yes, I'm walking my own path. In this song, it's definitely, I'm clearly talking to someone, which it's not really directed towards one individual, but maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe a blob of many individuals. Maybe it's more like a energy or a presence in one's ego that I'm talking to. Expectations, worldly expectations that I'm talking to and claiming and making a declaration against that. No, I'm walking my own path, and it confuses people. I think sometimes when I talk to people about my life, they're like, "What?" And I am still learning, and have learned to confidently talk about my life in a way that is empowering. And it's taken a lot for me to get over the shame around the path I've taken. I didn't graduate high school. I spent a lot of my 20s kind of wandering around the West Coast, jumping from job to job, being in bands here and there, escaping into the country as much as I could, because it just felt more peaceful and relaxed in those environments. And also holding on to this dream of music, this dream of that I have the ability to create the life that I want through my creativity, through my words of caring, through my wisdom, through my expression. I don't care about prudence. I want to live in the movement of now, in the pulse of life. I don't care for reluctance. Will you meet me in this dance and let something mysterious guide? It's really just it's an invitation. It is an invitation for someone maybe who doesn't understand me, doesn't understand my choices, doesn't understand the places that I focus in life, the things that interest me, the spiritual undertones of life. It's an invitation for them to come into it with me. Yeah. Because I believe it's a gift. And I don't care that you're shaken up by his soft stare. And then the last chorus, I don't care that you're shaken up by his soft stare and unbridled love. Really, that is just, I think that there is I think that love exists in the spiritual undertones of life, and I think that Christ actually was tapped into this, and that I think that when we fall in love with opposite sex or same sex, whatnot, that there is a holiness and a sacredness in that experience, and I think that a lot of fears come up in that experience, in seeing someone's unbridled love for you in their eyes. And I also think that that is at the essence of what the most important things in life is. Unbridled love, the love that annihilates our ego, the love that destroys any illusion, any fear, any feeling of undeservingness, any feeling of unworthiness. And I think that when we encounter that kind of love, that it's actually terrifying. And I also think that it is a life journey. It is our soul's journey to step into that love, to get closer and closer into that love, to heal ourselves, to be able to surrender to that kind of love. So really, that is how I wrap up this song. And to me, it's a really powerful note. And I hope it comes through in the delivery of my performance of this song.
Do you dare to step towards trust and walk your own path?
I hope you enjoyed the first Songs of Healing podcast and didn't mind hearing me talk about myself incessantly. If you're feeling down, confused, uninspired, or going through hardship in your life, may the perfect song find you and provide you with the ease needed. Thank you for listening. And until next time.